This one question changed my life, and it will change yours too. And this is coming from somebody that has been asking this question since she was 13 years old. I'm now 32. The question is, what is my purpose? What am I doing here? Why are we here on Earth? I know these are really big questions, very obscure things to ask when you're a teenager, like preteen at that point. But that question kept popping up and it kept showing up. So I went through my own course of becoming a nurse and going through a traditional route until I hit the head and was like, wait a minute, this isn't what I want to do. I was living in New York City at the time. I don't want to live in New York City. Like, I don't want to be here. I don't want to do this. This does not feel like, what is this? This doesn't feel like life. And you might be at this point right now where you're like, is this all there is? And you start to have a spiritual awakening or another spiritual awakening. And you're like, wait a minute, I actually want to create more life. I don't want to just live the life in the template that we see has been laid out for us by other people, family members, society, structures, the normal ways to do things. And now more than ever, I think we're now collectively more curious about the alternative routes, the more artistic routes, or the more ways that we can make a living or money in ways that we've never could before. And now we have this opportunity to actually think like, yeah, what am I here to do? Why am I here? So I offer this question to you. And a few things, everybody's path is going to be different. I will tell you what has helped me on my path get more clarity around this question, but your clarity in your path could look something like something different. But I'm going to give you a few tools that have helped me throughout this process of now where I feel really freaking clear of what I'm here to do, what's going on with the energies. And as I continue to go down my path and my journey, I get to deepen and sink into that in a deeper level as I continue to grow and learn and change, because that's what's going to happen. You're never going to get just a blanket statement and then it's just going to be what it is. Like, no, you get older, you go through different life stages, you go through different paths and you learn and navigate, and we get to bring all of those juicy things along with us to color our path and to lead us into where we're meant to go. So I first recommend you to meditate. And I know you don't want to hear that because everybody tells you to meditate, but I'm telling you, you need to meditate. You need to find a way that you're going to stick with it. Binaural beats, a guided meditation, something that is going to feel like, okay, and bite size. You could start with 10 minutes and you could literally be like, okay, I am going to do 10 minutes once a day. When I wake up, before I get out of bed, or right when I get out of bed, I go to the chair and I meditate. It needs to be consistent. You need to do this every day and you need to do this consistently, okay? If you fall off a day or two, you just get right back on. It's okay. But you need to start meditating because this is going to start to tap you into that energetic world, to your energy, to the energy around you, to the quantum space. And you're going to receive information there. You're going to receive messages. Even if you're like, that sounds really woo-woo. Like, first of all, you're on this page right now. But second of all, it isn't. It is so, you can't even explain it. You can explain it to a degree, but for the most part, you have to start experiencing it yourself. Just like a spiritual awakening. When you're trying to describe a spiritual awakening to somebody that hasn't had one, they think you're fucking nuts. They think you're nuts. And it's the same way as you're like, okay, this is what you experience when you have an energy session or when you meditate and you're trying to put it into words, but it doesn't land for people until they have their own experience. Okay, so meditate. Second thing is to journal. And I am a big believer. I love the Artist's Way book, which is, I don't know if this is the original journaling morning pages, but she calls them the morning pages. I'm in my second round of going through the Artist's Way workbook. And I did it last year, but I didn't complete the whole thing. So I'm going through it again this year to actually complete the thing. So if you're interested in this, I highly recommend it. It's not sponsored. I don't even have my book with me right now, but it's called The Artist's Way. Okay. So journaling, even if you're not doing it in the morning, you could even do this as a brain dump throughout the day. If you're having like a lot of thoughts, especially if you're having like spiral thoughts, if you're like, oh my gosh, you're feeling and describing in your head of this negative pattern and you're pulling yourself down, a good way to get yourself out of that is just start writing it down and start getting it out of your body onto the paper and just brain dump it out. And this is going to create space and kind of get those thoughts that are coming from old patterns, old behaviors, energies that are around, anything that isn't supposed to be in your energy field. We want to have ways that is going to get it out. So journaling is a way that you can get those things out. And in the morning pages of The Artist's Way, she recommends doing 3 pages and just continuing to write without moving the pen off the paper. Just continue to free dump it. And if you're really struggling with a certain question, you could always ask a question and you can have the intention of connecting to your higher self or your soul self. And you're like, okay, I want to ask my soul self this question. And then I'm going to respond back to an answer from my soul self. And this will get practice. It takes time not a lot of time, but just takes some practice to get used to that kind of energy flow and dynamic. So journaling, it can be used in so many different ways, but this is going to also help you get to those answers of like, what's happening? Why am I here? All right. The third thing is to go on soul dates. So I want you to take yourself out, take your soul out like you're dating yourself, like you're learning about yourself. So just as you would go on a date with somebody that you're about to meet romantically, or you're going out with a friend to get to know them more, I want you to take yourself out that way and be able to spend time with yourself and learn about yourself in your soul. So you're going to go on soul dates. And this could be once a week, once a month, whatever you can manage. If you've never taken yourself out, if you've never even had a date with yourself, this could feel like a really strange thing to happen. And no one else can come with you. So this is like the first time I remember when I was in New York City, like in my early 20s. And it was the first time I've ever went out to a restaurant by myself. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so awkward. Everybody's looking at me. Everybody's wondering why I'm alone. It was like one of those huge things where I can't believe I'm doing this right now. Like everybody's staring. I made it through the dinner, and then I did another dinner, and then I did another dinner, and then I did a full day. And then I went on a retreat, and then I just went and solo backpacked. So these things can kind of catapult and just really start to increase the momentum, but you have to start somewhere. So if you're like, I can't even do that, just know that if you just start, it'll keep getting easier to spend time with just yourself. Okay. Next is to keep going after things that feel scary and exciting. So we want to feel that mix of, ooh, this is really pushing me, or like, I'm kind of nervous, but I'm really excited about it. Those kinds of energies is going to help us get more clear on what we're excited about, and what we're excited about is what we're here to do. So the more that you can follow those breadcrumbs and your interests and explore those areas that like you get excited about, like maybe you're really excited about like the stars or space or the earth, plants, meditations, the quantum field, whatever it is, it can be so obscure. Whatever you have such extreme excitement in is the path to follow. Okay. So that excitement can also feel it can feel scary. So that combination of feelings is normal. I know that like my path, like the bigger mission that we have, the bigger path we have to follow comes with a really big shadow. And I forget who has said this. I think it was a channeler. This is not my idea, but it completely resonated, was that the bigger our mission, the bigger the shadow it comes with that mission. So there's more there for us to look at of unworthiness, fear of being seen. It feels like super intimidating, like I can never, but like it's something that you actually really want to do. So know that the bigger purpose, the bigger mission, the bigger reason why you came to this planet, you can have a lot of fear around that. So this helped me kind of just acknowledge and realize like, oh, if I'm feeling this, then I'm onto something. Like this is my growth edge. This is where I'm here to explore. Okay. All right. Next thing is to push yourself out of your comfort zone. So this kind of goes a little bit with it, but just even little things, going to a new cafe, going to an event by yourself, going to meet a new friend, trying a new exercise, going to a different gym, little bite-sized things that like you don't have to technically do on your own. You could do with a friend, a sibling, your spouse, or whatever. It's trying something new, something a little bit out of your comfort zone. And this could even be a fun way to deepen your connection and relationship with this person, is doing new things. Like you're taking a new class. So you want to keep doing things out of your comfort zone because you actually don't know what you don't know. Like maybe you really would have loved pottery, but you've never taken a class. You don't know what that is like. And then you go try pottery and you're like, oh my God, I'm obsessed with this. This is the thing I love. So try new things, get outside of your comfort zone. And last is to travel to as many places as you can. Now, I'm saying this from a person that has traveled a lot, not as much as I want, but I have traveled a lot overseas in various places in the United States. Not every period in life you're able to. Right now, I'm at a lull in traveling. Not everybody has the means. So this doesn't have to be super extravagant. You don't have to fly across the world. You can go to the next destination. You can drive to a new city. You can go to a new coffee shop. You can go to a new restaurant. You can go to the city that your town is nearby, or things that it's just the energy of newness. You want to go to new places because that will start to kind of get your curiosity and open your field into this wonder and play and like, oh, I've never seen this before. I've never been here before. This is something new. And this really unlocked for me when I had traveled overseas, where I was like, whoa, people live extremely different than how I've been used to live like for these 30 years. Like what? So being able to travel and see different experiences, opinions, people, lifestyles, ways of living, ways of structuring the day, all those things will unlock so much within yourself. And that is going to help you also think about these things of like, why am I here? Am I here to explore? Am I here to learn? Am I here to spread joy? Am I here to share my lessons with other? Like, am I here to be creative? Like, it could be all of the above, all of these things. So it doesn't have to be a certain like job description or a title or anything like that. It could be very broad and you're gonna be like, oh, that's why I'm here. I'm here to do this. So something in this list, you keep doing these things and the answers will start to come to you. So allow them to roll in, because everything that we need, all the questions that we have is actually within. We have to start remembering to ask ourselves first instead of asking other people. So asking our friends and our family and our parents and a teacher, mentor, all these things. Great resources for people to reflect to you what they see, but sometimes what they see is not the full picture. So you need to be able to go within first and answer those questions for yourself. I hope this helped. Please like and subscribe if you feel like it. If you want more of these videos, let me know. If you have any other questions, you can give me a little comment. I would love to hear from you.